The city of Houston held a yard sale of sorts last week, dusting off some possessions it doesn't use anymore and offering them up for sale or swap to its neighbors. City Council approved selling or swapping almost $2 million worth of city streets and utility easements. That won't correct the more than $100 million budget deficits, but it's not peanuts. All right. First example came in Manchester, where the council abandoned and sold several streets and easements to the adjacent Valero refinery for $1.4 million. The oil giant already owns the blocks immediately surrounding the facility, and the move will let the company assume more of the intersecting streets onto its land as part of a plan to build an office building, warehouse, and so on. Now, that's fine, right? You could say, well, hey, let that company take care of these assets. What if that company gets bought out by a foreign government? Well, suddenly you have a little bit of an issue. So that's the gray area that I see, and I just want to bring that to you, that I like the fact that there are private companies coming in and saying, look, government, you don't need to do everything. We can take this off your hands. That's good. Because if that company starts to be able to go bankrupt, hey, let them go bankrupt. Someone's going to come in and pick up the assets, but I don't want to see it happening intentionally. I don't want to see collapses occurring because some central banker decided that. This is Greece here. I've talked about this many times before. Very quickly, okay? The next things will be very quick, I promise. Progress in key privatizations by June will determine whether Greece will meet its bailout target to raise €2 billion from state asset sales this year. It is still going on. We're talking about airports. We're talking about infrastructure. We're talking about everything, and it goes to other companies, individuals, asset funds, and so on. At the very bottom of the page here, they're talking about the airports here. It doesn't matter where it's going. All I know is that the public is not going to see the benefit of that. This is the third bailout here. Third bailout. They said, we don't want the third bailout. The people took a vote. They said no, but the government went ahead anyway. In this third bailout, they encountered more austerity. And a lot of people actually would say, you know what? People of Greece, too bad for you. You need that austerity. I would agree in the sense that the government needs to shrink somewhat. That is a fact. However, the people are not going to get anything out of it. That's what's really strange. The Emir of Qatar can get islands. There are companies that are going to come in here and take on businesses. They're going to take on infrastructure for so cheap. They're going to make so much money. They wait a few years and be able to, fix up whatever it is that they're investing in, put a little bit of money in, and be able to return hefty profits. And this is something that will be very, very beneficial to the few, not to you and I, to the few. Detroit auctioned city assets for pennies on the dollar. That's literally a quote from this here. It goes into what they did here, the different trucks and things, but it doesn't matter. What we can see is that the big corporations, the rich, I'm not talking about the 1%. I'm not talking about the 0.0001%. They are the ones that are cleaning house, I assure you. Now, one of the biggest issues that people just refuse to talk about, forget about the financial media, the alternative, they don't really acknowledge this, okay? This is where I believe that I differ from many out there. I'm sure some are talking about it. The central bank balance sheets, this happens to be the ECB central bank balance sheet. You can see where it has gone. Over $4.5 trillion, continued to expand. They say they're going to reduce it. We'll see if they do. Now, this has really expanded over the years, and as such, they have been buying up assets. They've been buying up the debt of these different corporations. Other, whether it's Bank of Japan, they've been buying up the ETFs. You look at in the US, the Fed has been buying up different types of debt, okay? Then you have the Bank of Norway being used, their whole schemes that they say they're not printing money, but I refuse to believe it. They are buying up different assets, including US shares. You have the Swiss National Bank buying up US shares, so on. Okay, they're all printing. China's doing it. Everyone's doing it. They own the entire damn system. They own it all. What's going to happen the next time it crashes? They're going to literally own everything. Anything that they can get their hands on, they're going to buy it up. They're going to have their friends like Warren Buffett buy up all of the different companies. He already owns $5 billion worth at the time. Now it's worth much more, of Bank of America. Thanks, Warren Buffett. You bailed out the system. Congratulations. Of course, you got a sweetheart deal. Of course, nobody else could have afforded what you did and got the deal you got. No, you get the deal. Nobody else does. They get preferred pricing. They are going to buy it all. I don't know why this isn't being discussed more. They are using crises and collapses intentionally in order to profit from it, in order to be able to scoop up assets. We couldn't do that. They somehow do. Now, that's all for this video. If you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. When you give me a thumbs up, it helps to support this channel. I do appreciate that very much. Last but not least, if you found this video informative, I know you can find my books, The Money GPS, and my new release, Global Economic Collapse, even more informative. You can flip through these books at Amazon. Just go to the link in the description of this video. It will take you over there where you can flip through the pages of these books to see if you like them. Take care.